Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. A Sioux family is mourning the loss of their 25-year-old son.
I'm struggling day by day. Just wishing this was just a blur, but we know it's not.
They're now taking legal action against the accused as well as Algoma remand. Plus, crime numbers have increased in Wiikwemkoong, but its top cop says it's not what you might think.
A lot of those individuals that we arrested were not residents.
Chief Gignac says it's all part of their new strategic 3-year plan. And remediating mine tailings up in the Timmins area.
There are several companies who are looking into the reprocessing of tailings.
A Canadian gold development company becomes the first of its kind to get such a permit from the province.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Well, good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. Tomorrow was supposed to be a joyous day for the family of a young man. He was killed last fall while behind bars in Sault Ste. Marie. Instead of celebrating, his family is seeking answers and justice. CTV's Corey Nordstrom has more.
Here at the Algoma Treatment and Remand Center, 25-year-old Nathan Pregent Doe took his final breath after being attacked by a fellow inmate.
I'm struggling day by day. Just wishing this was just a blur, but we know it's not.
His family says Nathan was a fun, happy guy who lit up each room he entered. While they cling to happy memories, they worry about his now 9-year-old son.
He's a sad little boy right now because he doesn't know how to handle his father being gone. He just wants his father there.
He's never going to truly know his father. He's only going to have those glimpses, and it's never going to be the same as actually having that person.
Nathan was in jail on minor drug charges and just a day away from a bail hearing when he had an altercation with Eric Miro, a man previously found guilty of a 2011 killing and dismemberment. His relatives say he planned on turning his life around, but now he won't get that chance.
Why was he alone? Why was Eric Miro near my son? He shouldn't have been in the same area at all.
Now the family is taking legal action against the accused, the remand center, government, and 6 staff entrusted with his care at the jail. The family is yet to hear back from any of the defendants. The Ministry of the Solicitor General replied to an inquiry from CTV News, only stating that the ministry cannot provide details on ongoing legal proceedings.
Our plan is to have discovery in the fall. That's certainly going to be our timeline, and that's probably one of the most important elements of the lawsuit because that's where you get answers.
A statement of claim filed last week outlines that the family is seeking $4 million in damages. In speaking with them, what they view as most important is finding out what happened that allowed Nathan's life to be taken in hopes that something like this is never repeated.
The amount of pain and grief that it brings on a day-to-day basis is definitely hard. It's not a situation we can fix, but we can try and bring light and justice to it.
Losing family is the worst thing ever, and I hope this doesn't happen to anybody else.
Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Timmins police are investigating a weapons-related incident that sent one person to hospital. Police were called to the Laidlaw Street area today after reports of an altercation involving a weapon. One person was found in a home with what they are describing as a severe injury to the leg. They were taken to hospital. Anyone with information is being asked to contact them or Crime Stoppers. Crime figures have increased in Wiikwemkoong on Manitoulin Island. However, police say the spike in numbers is actually a sign of progress. And CTV's Amanda Hicks has more.
The Wiikwemkoong Tribal Police Service has been busy. According to recent data, the number of individuals charged jumped in just 1 year.
Our people charged by police in comparison to 24 to 2025 has gone up 40%. Over the last 10 years, we've seen a 56% rise in individuals charged.
Police say the spike is a sign of more policing. It's a part of the service's new 3-year strategic plan, which shifts officers from reactive responses to proactive enforcement. Since intensifying their community drug strategy, arrests for trafficking have skyrocketed by over 300%.
A lot of those individuals that we arrested were not residents nor were they citizens of the Wiikwemkoong unceded territory. They were from the Greater Toronto Region, Sudbury, Nipissing, York Region, Niagara Region, just to name a few. So the drugs are coming in from predominantly the Greater Toronto region, high quality, and then they're being distributed here.
But it's not all increases. The data shows a decrease in youth crime, with arrests for both teenage boys and girls seeing a drop since 2024.
We're doing the same things as far as applying the law, but it's the programs and initiatives that we're doing within the community, I believe, that's having a great impact upon both.
GDX says a goal of the plan isn't just higher arrest numbers, but a permanent shift towards long-term safety. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
The Timmins Police Service says over the past 6 months, multiple complaints have come in from local businesses being scammed. Police say one of the biggest red flags to watch for is an email from a supplier or contractor saying they've changed their method of payment. Once a victim makes the changes, the fraudster is requesting money is then funneled to the scammer's account. Timmins police say some local businesses have been defrauded out of several thousands of dollars and only find out when they're asked why haven't they paid their bills.
Be vigilant when you get an email or a request to change payment information. Contact the company directly using the number that you're familiar with and ask to verify that they are in fact changing accounts. We have seen where the fraudsters are changing the contact numbers, so when the company calls, they believe that they're speaking to a legitimate company.
Beatty says a number of investigations are ongoing. She adds it's a difficult process to trace the funds and get some resolution. Well, new tonight, mining giant Vale is temporarily adjusting water levels and flows across the Spanish River system to support construction of its Nairns Falls generating station spillway replacement project. This means, in short, the ice conditions could soon become unsafe. Affected bodies of water include Agnew Lake, which will see an accelerated drawdown of 3/4 of a foot. Ramsey Lake, not in Sudbury, but the one near the watershed, and Biscuitasing Lake will see their levels rise by 1/2 foot. The Spanish River flows will decrease in early March along with the water at Nairn Falls. Residents are being encouraged to remove their ice huts before March 1st and that motorized and recreational vehicles should stay off the ice. Stellar Gold, a Canadian gold development company, announced today it is the first to receive a permit from the province to remediate historic mine tailings. Stellar Gold's preliminary work on its Hollinger tailings project in Timmins is now underway. The company plans to begin removing tailings to mill them in 2027. Officials telling CTV News this is an opportunity to take responsibility for the past while creating value for the future. They say an area of 450 acres that's been left for decades will finally be cleaned up and the land can be used for other purposes in the future.
It's economically viable for a lot of companies to look at the potential reprocessing of tailings. And so that's exactly what we have been doing over the last year, is to characterize the tailings, understand the gold content, also to do environmental work as required for the permitting. But there are several companies who are looking into the reprocessing of tailings, and this isn't just limited to Ontario, but it is relatively new with this new recovery of minerals framework.
The province is the new framework cuts red tape and turns legacy mine sites into engines of economic growth and stewardship. Nipissing MPP Vic Fideli announced more than $450,000 in funding to extend CT scan hours at North Bay Regional Health Centre. By extending hours, the hospital will be able to reduce patient wait times and increase diagnostic services. Hospital President and CEO Paul Heinrich said in a news release the funding will support better health care. Wear Red Canada is asking people to wear the color tomorrow. CTV's Madison Merrier has more on why.
Health partners around the city are collaborating to help inform Sudburyans on innovation in healthcare, research, and knowledge.
So we just launched our newest series. It's called Northern Health Horizons, Story Science Solutions, and it's all about bringing people together and sharing health information, research, stories, things that connect to everyday life.
The first free event in the 3-part series is Wear Red Canada, Her Heart Matters, where attendees will learn CPR and feel heart health empowerment empowerment.
We are really just trying to create a free community event for community members to learn about their heart as well as their loved ones' hearts, learn about the risks, the signs, and the symptoms specific to women's heart health. And this is super important to a community like Sudbury, Ontario, especially being, in the north. It's important that, we have the same knowledge as people do elsewhere in Ontario as well as Canada.
Science is about people. Science is about engagement and people being able to engage with scientists. And that's what Science North is all about. Science communication, science engagement, and what better platform is there to be able to do this?
The National Wear Red campaign says 1 out of 3 women are affected by cardiovascular disease, but women are understudied, undertreated, and underaware.
One of the barriers of access to this is our finances. So, through establishing a connection with the Northern Horizons here at Science North, with the Med Talks and Catalyst event, we're able to offer subsidized costs and free of cost to our participants that are coming.
Organizers hope all who attend wear red to show unity in learning of women's health care, as well as the leading cause of premature death in Canadian women. Madison Marier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Some significant changes are on the way for Ontario's colleges and universities. The province is overhauling the way it supports post-secondary institutions, which are facing massive financial challenges. The biggest change, ending the tuition freeze, which has been in place for 7 years. The government also announcing an additional $6.4 billion in funding over 4 years. It's also changing OSAP to offer fewer grants and more loans. Starting this fall, schools will be able to increase tuition by up to 2% per year for the next 3 years. After that, increases will be limited to either 2% or the average inflation rate, whichever is lower. Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, a look at the current conditions, and no weather warnings in place tonight, but it is chilly. It says fog right now at Timmins Shores, but that is actually more of a haze. -20 in North Bay, -20 in Timmins, -13 in Kapuskasing, seeing some flurries in Wawa. We'll have details after the break.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Change in the weather forecast is coming. Not overnight, not early tomorrow, but during the day tomorrow, with some snow in the forecast right across the Northeast. Forecast radar, we've got varying amounts that will hit specific areas. Nothing insurmountable, but again, we will have some precipitation. And I had mentioned earlier, 60% chance of flurries for Friday. No, we've got to change that right now. Here we come. With some of the numbers, snow like 5 centimeters tomorrow in Greater Sudbury Nickel Belt, -5, -2 Saturday, sun and cloud. Chance of flurries for a couple of days, Sunday and Monday. Take a look at these temperatures at the beginning of next week. 0 and -1 periods of snow on Wednesday. Moving on over to Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma, snow tomorrow 2 to 4 centimeters, 0 for a couple of days. Sunday, we've got +1 chance of flurries, +2 Monday chance of flurries. Cloud cover Tuesday, again 2 degrees, -1 next Wednesday with periods of snow. Meanwhile, in Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, snow tomorrow 2 centimeters, -2, -4 Saturday, sun and cloud. Chance of flurries Sunday and Monday, -1 and 0 your daytime highs. -2 on Tuesday with the cloud. Chance of flurries come Wednesday at -5 as well. In Timmins Shores, Kirkland Lake, snow tomorrow 2 to 4 centimeters, -4 your daytime high. -4 Saturday, sun and cloud. Chance of flurries for a couple of days on Sunday and Monday. Your daytime highs -2 and 0. 0 once again Tuesday. Cloud cover there. Periods of snow by next Wednesday with a high of -2. Take a look at your normal right now. Should be -7. And you've got zeros and -2 for highs. Looking pretty good for this time of the year. North Bay, West Nipissing, snow tomorrow 2 to 4 centimeters, -5, -3 on Saturday, sun and cloud. Sunday, -1 chance of flurries. Family Day, Monday, chance of flurries, +1. +2 on Tuesday with the cloud cover. Periods of snow come Wednesday at -1. And again, your normals throughout the Northeast should be around -5, -6, -7, but totally different forecast coming up for the next couple of days. So Ian Campbell, let's get rid of the snow for tomorrow. I know the sledders will enjoy that, but then it starts to warm up, and by Sunday, some really nice temperatures in and around your area. Back to you on the desk.
That's what I like to hear. Thanks, Rick. Well, the recent significant weather event that lasted weeks was called off in Sault Ste. Marie, but just a little south of here in Barrie, they are in the midst of the longest in its history. Here's CTV's Rob Cooper. Why? With how city officials are now still struggling with the snow.
It's been 6 weeks since the city of Barrie declared a significant weather event, and there's still too much snow for the declaration to be lifted.
It's just bike lanes and the width of the roadway, so we got to get those turn lanes cleared.
Those turn lanes and giant snowbanks scattered across the city are making simple maneuvers a guessing game at times.
We got 10 feet snowbanks over here. Definitely poses its challenges.
The city says it's removing about 30 kilometers of snow from local banks every week. The works yard no longer has the room to take the unwanted snow, so fully loaded trucks are now hauling it to the city-owned site on McKay Road, day and night. The city has about 4,000 fire hydrants, many of them covered in snow. City crews out today tackling them one by one. The fire department says if residents are able to clear the snow from the hydrants in front of their homes, it would help.
We have had some experiences where locating a hydrant is difficult. It does pose a problem. We just have to strategize other ways to work around those problems.
Sidewalks have been a real challenge for many people this winter. Some people forced to avoid them altogether.
The walking is terrible, so we walk on the road because the sidewalks are impossible.
Now, the city says that sidewalk crews plow down to what's called a snowpack level. Now, they can be as much as 8 inches at times, and the city says when it warms up, it becomes slushy and difficult to navigate. I'm also told those crews head out every day. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Barrie.
It might be cold outside, but Sweetheart Day is fast approaching, and most Canadians say they intend to support local businesses with their Valentine's Day purchases this year. That according to a recent poll by CIBC. CTV's Lindsay Alick reports.
From flowers. This year, guys have been pretty good with pre-ordering compared to like even last year. So even now we're at a point where we've matched our pre-orders with our sales last year. To chocolate.
Valentine's is always a big hit, and Saturday there'll be nothing left, which is good. That's the way I like it. We make everything in-house and small batch.
The CIBC poll shows 80% of Canadians intend to support local, with younger Canadians age 18 to 34 being the biggest spenders, with plans to shell out an average $224.
It's very important for people to be shopping local as possible. It can make or break somebody in one season alone.
Especially with how the economy is going and how the world is at right now, I definitely notice an influx in people coming in just to see the store or grab a little something just to show their support. Most Northerners I talk to say whatever their plans may be, they will be supporting local as part of that.
It includes dinner out and chocolate-covered strawberries.
Oh, and do you buy those local?
I do. Actually, I bought them in Chelmsford from a girl called Treats by Kim.
I like to have chocolates and flowers and get together and have a nice meal and spread the love.
It looks like having grandchildren over for the evening and for a sleepover, so that the parents can go out for Valentine's.
With inflation putting pressure on budgets, only 12% of Canadians say they plan to spend more this year on Valentine's Day. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
The association that advocates for midwives across the province wants a change in compensation. It says midwives are leaving the profession due to burnout and attrition. CTV's Angela Gemmell has more.
Midwives provide prenatal care as well as care during labor, delivery, and 6 weeks after a birth. But labor is unpredictable, so they're also regularly on call.
We don't get paid vacation. We don't get established time off. You're negotiating with another partner
or another team member to cover your caseload.
Midwives have lost income over the past 5 years due to the 1% public sector salary cap. Now the Association of Ontario Midwives, or OAM, is negotiating with the provincial government to compensate midwives for that 3-year gap in line with other health professionals.
When everybody's willing to come to the table and have a conversation, to treat the profession the same as they have treated physicians, nurses, and firefighters, that respect, I think, is essential as well.
In an email to CTV News, the Ministry of Health calls the government a strong partner to Ontario midwives, investing an additional $40 million over the last 2 years to increase compensation, and adding the AOM's current demands are well beyond recently negotiated outcomes for other primary care providers. But the association now has a report from an independent third-party mediator recommending the compensation ask. That report says the loss of income has led to a recruitment and retention crisis in the midwifery profession, including burnout and attrition, where midwives are leaving Ontario for better paying provinces. It translates to fewer midwives, particularly in Northern Ontario after the program was shuttered at Laurentian University.
We do not have a northern site for midwifery education, which is certainly having an impact. We're providing student placements for Southern midwives, but they're returning to other locations.
Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Still ahead tonight on CTV News. Canada's national pastime takes over a busy street in Sturgeon Falls. More in a moment. A very exciting night for Troops Nation as North Bay played host to the Brampton Steelheads tonight in the Gateway City, and the game would end in a shootout. Take a look at this.
One of the most dangerous shooters in the league, and he starts left as you predicted, Greg. Slowly, purposefully on the backhand, scores!
Nick Wellenrider finding the back of the net to help lift his team to the big win. Also a big night for Carter Kunapaski, who scores his first OHL goal tonight. North Bay goes on to get the win, beating Brampton 3-2. And the Sudbury Cubs come out victorious once again over in the NOJHL. They're sending the French River Rapids home with a 9-0 loss. Spencer Horgan had 3 assists, while Owen King and Mateo Signoretti each with a pair of goals. Adanac Ski Hill in Sudbury was closed today because of a mechanical issue. According to the city, the issue was with the ski lift. The good news is the problem is now fixed and the hill is open. Fortunately, the 97 athletes who were set to compete in the Sudbury District Secondary School Athletic Association final today will all move on to the NASA snowboarding finals in Elliott Lake next week. Results from there will determine the city's top snowboarders.
How we're going to still be able to give out the Sudbury City Championship results are based on next week's results at NASA. We're going to be able to remove all non-Sudbury student athletes from the event per se, and then be able to give out the championship banner and medals to the racers who compete the best at NASA for next week.
Yesterday, the Sudbury District Secondary School Athletic Association hosted the NASA Alpine Skiing Championships at Adanac. Finally, what's more Canadian than picking up a hockey stick and shooting a few pucks or balls into the net? CTV's Eric Taster was in Sturgeon Falls today celebrating our national sport with some very happy students.
Swapping pencils and textbooks for hockey sticks and helmets. It's hockey day in Sturgeon Falls as kids score goals and show off their love of the sport.
It's something new. We never had this before, and it was good that we're hosting it so we can have fun.
An idea to hold a school board-wide ball hockey shinny came from Jamie Pigeot, who loved playing hockey growing up, remembering his grandfather, a road hockey lover.
It's in our blood. If it's summer, we're playing road hockey. If it's winter, we're at the ODR. You're at the rink watching your kids practice. It's Canadian.
So the school closed down 3rd Street to build 2 rinks on the road and 2 more in the parking lot, with many cheering on the home team.
A lot of my classmates are
are on my team, so that's awesome, and get to have a better bond with them.
17 teams from all of the West Nipissing school boards entered the tournament, and in between the games, everyone gathered inside the school to watch both the women's and men's Canadian teams at the Olympics.
Just watching your favorite hockey players on TV and then going to play right after.
Bringing in the community and all the schools, so this was something that was something that we really wanted to do this year, and it was perfect for our carnival week.
Peugeot would like to see the ball hockey tournament become a regular celebration of the sport. He's hoping to invite schools from nearby North Bay to lace up and participate. Since hockey is, after all, our sport and a sense of national pride.
You gotta skip school, you gotta play hockey. Just what other way to spend your day in school?
Eric Tashner, CTV News, Sturgeon Falls.
Looks like they had a lot of fun. Glad they had the weather for it. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Thursday night. For the latest news anytime, remember, you can head to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Thanks for watching. Good night.